Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is, and well, my hair is standing up, so look at those cold, woo! So it is chilly out here, but I don't want to put my jacket on because I wore it so many times in videos. So anyway, I love you all, and I hope you're getting out in nature, and make sure you bring your jacket with you just in case. And if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome, and you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Digman. Plus, you could give my videos a thumbs up, and you could share my videos with your family or friends, a cat, a dog, and don't be afraid, don't be shy, swing by and say, "Hi, Starlight," by leaving Starlight a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. And you can also check out my playlist. Plus, you can find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Digman Starlight. So thank you, all of you, and thank you. I noticed a new subscriber, so thank you for joining me on and this family here on my YouTube channel. Thank you for reaching out and subscribing to my YouTube channel, and thank you for the other people that have joined and watched videos recently. So, and all of you that have been here, yeah, you, from the beginning of when I started my YouTube channel. So thank you for being here. Plus, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for giving me thumbs up. Thank you also for leaving Starlight a comment down below. Beep, beep, beep. And so anyway, today is what? Now you guys push the button, so you know what I'm gonna do on this video is, what do you think is the best hour of the day? What is the most important hour of the day? Dun 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 bin dun 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 bin dun dun boom 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 dun 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 dun. All right. You. What? In the morning. Yes, it's actually, isn't it like, yes. When you wake up in the morning, that's the most important hour of your day. What do you guys do? What do you girls? Yeah, I can't leave the girls out. You know, it's not just the guys here. There's girls and guys here. Is, what do you do first thing when you wake up? Well, Starlight, I'm waking up. I got to go to work. I got to hurry up. I got to go. And, you know, everybody wakes up different when they do wake up. Some people are, you know, slow. They get up. I do know some relatives. I don't know how they do it, but they really don't give themselves any time for the what ifs, you know. They get themselves up. They get their son up. And you know, it's up, get dressed, grab their stuff for work. They already got everything in the refrigerator ready to grab for lunch, and boom, out the door. That is it. It is like, Starlight never could do something like that. You know, Starlight I gotta have my morning time, and it's so important whether you work or not. I know. I used to do this when I lived in my apartment, you know, is to have that time in the morning before you head out, is to have your me time, you know. And how you start your morning is really going to determine how the rest of your day goes, like 99.99% of the time. So you don't want to wake up first thing checking out. I wish I had another phone here, because I'd be like, ooh, who called me? What messages do I got? You know, do I have on my phone or on the internet or the computer? You know, you might have your phone. Starlight doesn't get a lot of messages on my phone, and I'm good with that. Starlight's good with that, but I do like to receive messages. But so it's so important not to, you know, the first thing you grab, and also you really don't want your phone near your bed, you know, when you sleep. So before you go to bed, make sure you have your phone, you know, plugged in away from your bed, and to have it off, you know. It is so good not to have your phone on near your bed at all, but you're going to do what you want to do. I'm not here to control you. You have a free will to do whatever you want to do. Is that it's not good to have your phone turned on near your bed, or even, what do you do before you go to bed? That's important. But the first thing, what you do in the morning, is so important. That is why it's so important to do as many things you can before you get to bed. Have your lunch, have everything all set up. If you got to go to work the next day, that way, you know what? Your lunch is already ready. Your children, if you got kids, everything is already set. You know what clothes they're going to wear. And I know it is, depending on your kids, it can be challenging, definitely. I'm not going to say it's not going to be challenging, but if you have kids, it could be challenging, is to, have your me time, at least an hour or a half hour of, you could do like I am affirmations, a journaling, something, meditate, sit and be silent for a while, just go within. Some of you might read your Bible, that's not a bad thing, to wake up and start your morning off by reading something, something positive, something that is, that is going to help you out. But you really want to start your morning off, your day off right, by not going on the news, and checking out the news stuff. That, believe me, when COVID was around here, Starlight is not a person to watch the news at all. I am an empath. I would cry all the time anytime the news would come on. I recently was hearing about the airplane crash. Starlight was crying her ass off. Then about, all this stuff with the war stuff, Starlight was crying her ass off because I don't like that stuff. I need to hear about it, but I don't like that kind of news, and I am sensitive, and I can feel other people's stuff, but that's not how you want to start your morning off, is by starting off with the news. And what I'm going to say is, like, when COVID was here, I knew somebody, and that person lived in fear every minute of his life when COVID was here, because he did have health issues, and he feared his life every minute of the day. And so he's always listened to the news in his vehicle or at his house to hear what were they going to say. Do I need to go out and get another injection? I mean, like, because he was ready. That person was already ready, already dry, like mentally already going to get that next injection. So you don't want to let fear control you, number one. But what I'm trying to say is, when I was around that person, it was horrible, because the news, I didn't watch the news in such a long time, is that they kept on repeating the same shit over and over again. We just heard that like 5 minutes ago, and then we're hearing it again, and so that is what they did with, they do this with the news. It's all a lot of negative stuff. Not all of it is true, like, as you learned, I hope you learned, with COVID, was it all true? Was it all accurate? Was it, first it was one injection, right? And how many at the end? The last time I knew, if I got this correct, was 6 injection, but it didn't even, I don't have any proof at all. Nobody's proved at all that it worked. But you got 6 jab. Did you get 6? I hope not. But if you did, hey, you got a free will. You could go, but don't let other people force you to do something against what you want to do. Don't let your employer. So I'm not here to talk about that, but you're really, when you wake up, like this morning, when I woke up this morning, I grabbed my stuff, I got my books, I got my bag, I go to McDonald's, because in my situation here, I don't eat the McDonald's food. I bring my own coffee in there in a McDonald's cup now. I'm a customer. Starlight's a customer. Starlight's a McDonald's customer. So yes, I go in there in the morning because it's, the park it's too cold in the morning to be in the park. And that is where I spend my morning. But I have my journaling book. I have my I Am Affirmations book. I have my Grateful What am I grateful? Are you grateful for anything? Hey, you can have a notebook that, what are you grateful for? And another notebook is, what are you doing in your life? Like, what are the things that you're doing, the positive things? What are you doing? You can write that in a notebook and, give yourself a pat on the back. Sometimes it's easy to focus on all the negative things that we're not doing, and we're, oh man, but to just have a positive notebook that says what you're doing right, hey, yesterday I took a walk out in nature. Good. Yay. I didn't drink the fluoride water. Yay. I did yoga. Yay. I meditated. Yay. I read my Bible. Okay. So, whatever your thing is that you got to start your morning off in a positive way. And also, when you wake up, is forget about yesterday. Yesterday is gone. We can't go back and that's already done with. So you want to start your morning off and on a positive note. And that's why it's so important. Before I even say any more, I'm gonna put this on now, because after a while it just gets a little cooler. So and that is why, woohoo, it's so important the night before. Like, if you're in a family, or you have a loved one, like a husband or a wife or boyfriend, girlfriend, is to make sure you take care of all your business with each other. Like, if you're mad at each other, you want to take care of that before you go to bed. Why, Starlight? Well, because guess what you're going to think about when you wake up? That idiot, that bitch, I'm just so mad at her, I'm so angry at him. And you wake up with that same energy because you never took care of it. You never got right with that stuff. You never said, hey, you know what, you offended me the other day, or hey, I didn't like your text, whatever. I mean, like, the list would be so high, I would be here for hours just thinking of what it could be that went wrong yesterday. You didn't text me back. I got upset with you. You looked at a girl. I saw you look at her. I know you did this. And guys, see, did you take more money out of my bank account? I didn't even know it. I went in my, like, please tell me that like, please let me know before you take my money out of my bank account that you did it. So straighten all that stuff out. Whatever. Like I said, I could be here all day and night, all the possibilities of what happened the day before. So each night, each day, you want to get right with whoever, especially if they live in the same freaking house that you live in. You got to sleep with them people. You better get right with those people and say, you know what? We got to talk. And it can't wait till tomorrow. Let's talk about this tonight so we can, let's deal with this tonight. So in the morning when you wake up, you're not, you wake up and you're like, man, I feel good. We talked about that last night. We took it, and then you let it go. Let it go, because you're going to wake up and you're going to have like a resin. I call it like a resin of things that, that you're thinking about from yesterday, but gone. It's gone. And you just want to be in the present moment and, like, stay in the present moment and deal with what you got going on in the morning. But you want to really start your morning off. And even if you're running late, you're like, Starlight, I ain't got time for this. What do you think, man? I got to go to work. What time do you go to work? Because sometimes we got to set the alarm clock a little bit more earlier. That way you can have time. Or, here's another thing, is you can listen to stuff while you're driving, is like, I am affirmations. You could do those when you're driving. You could say stuff out loud to God and communicate with God, and on your way to work, if you're that busy and you don't have any time, or you're not making time to actually work on this, And you want to do this every day, you know, especially like if you are like a coffee drinker, you like do that every day. Well, you want to just kind of like a habit, you know, every day is okay. Today I got to do my I am affirmations. I got to thank God for all the things that you're grateful for every day, you know. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Oop, back all over again. Monday too, you know, all the way again. Just, you know what? After a while, you're not even gonna. It's gonna, after a while, you're gonna have a whole new mindset. You are gonna, because this has happened. Starlight is, I am like a person that has gone through this. I thought it was goofy at first when I started doing the I am affirmations, but as time goes by, you know what? Now I'm more positive. I'm like, wow. I blow people away with the positivity of, you know, being positive about stuff. So, you know, and we can't always just be positive 24/7 because there's negative stuff going on in the world. We can't ignore those things. So yeah, some of you are like, Starly, you bring some negative stuff on the videos. Yeah, well, we can't ignore it, and we can't act like it, you know, that it's not an issue. Like homeless people, what are we gonna just act like it never happened and it's not happening? No, that's how things, we got to work on those things when they come up. But you want to start your morning off in a positive mindset, you know, and it's really good to get, you know, the whole family in on this. If you got, you know, a wife or a husband, or you got family or whoever is living in your house, a friend is like, you know what, in the morning we're gonna start our morning off in a positive note. We're not going to argue and fight about what happened yesterday. No, we're going to put that's done with. We're not even going to worry about that. We're in the now moment. We're letting go of the past. We're, you know, like thinking of positive thoughts. And then, you know, when you're going to work, you know, if you're dreading about going to work, you got to get a different job. You know? And I know there's people, I've been there, you know, where, you know, you might have woke up and had a positive mindset, but now you're going to a negative place, a negative environment, toxic energy and all this, where you're dreading to go there. That means you're not at the right job. That means that you must find something that you're going to be looking forward to going to. And it is possible. You got to believe that. You got to find out what you really like and make it happen. So yes, so you want to start your day off, but you want to take care of the things the night before. Make sure everything, you know, give yourself, and, you know, take care of a lot of stuff before you go to bed. That way, those are, you know, you got to really be on top of this stuff. Don't leave all that stuff till the morning where you're running around with your head chopped off and like, I didn't make my, you know, that's why you got to make your lunch, get your, you know, get everything all set. Whatever, you know, if you got to carry stuff to the car every day, you know, like with your kids, have it available, have it handy where you're like, hey, look at this. The kids' clothes are already picked out, and if your kids already know how to dress themselves, great. And, you know, and you got to teach your kids. We're going to start off in the morning, every morning, and we're going to be positive. We're not going to, if negative talk comes out of your family's mouth, say, oh, no, that's not how we're starting our morning. We're going to start our morning off in a positive way. Get everybody on board, you know, and that's how you can start your morning. That is the most important hour of the day, is right when you crawl out of bed. You know, if you're a slow person that doesn't get out of the bed, you're going to have to set the alarm clock a little bit earlier. Or how late are you staying up? Or how early are you staying up in the morning? You know, are you, you know, like, it's too funny. Starlight goes to bed really super early. People are like, you going to bed already? Yeah, I got to get my sleep. You know, but if you are going to bed early, like at 1 o'clock in the morning, or 12, you know, like 12:59 was, it's just starting to be morning time, you know, or well, 12 p.m., well, 12 a.m. in the morning, you know, and you're still up, and what are you doing? Are you on the news? Are you watching the news? Are you, you know, like, are you watching movies? Are you on a, you know, like, what are you doing? You got to go to bed early enough so then you can wake, you know, give yourself, you need that sleep. And if you're not getting enough sleep, yeah, you're going to wake up sometimes cranky and all that stuff. but you want to start your morning off in a good positive note and get everybody on board. But you got to take care of business with people before the night before. Anyway, I love you so much. This is Starlight. You can give this video a thumbs up. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, you can leave me a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. And you can say hello. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Plus, you could share my videos with your family or friends. A moth and a caterpillar. Plus, you can check out my playlist and find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. I love you all. So tonight, depending on when you watch this video, take care of all your problems. You know, you might not have been taking care of your problems for a long time, so you might have to, that could take you some time, but you got to make time to get those things right with people and your family and your life. You know, deal with that stuff. Don't put it off. Don't put it in the back burner. That's why mountains grow. You know, you don't want the mountains to grow so big. You're gonna boom explode one day. You know, and it could be ugly. And you could say some horrible stuff, you know, without even thinking because you didn't take care of the stuff before. I love you so much. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.